1, 2, 3, 4, start. This video post is a follow-up of my earlier video post discussing Zoroaster. In this post, I will discuss predictions from Zoroaster in regards to the future Buddha Maitreya in the context of Zoroastrianism referred to as Saoshyant. So, according to the ancient Iranian religion of Zoroastrianism, history consists of the cosmic conflict between the just god Ahura Mazda and the forces of evil. Human beings are destined to choose sides and to participate in this conflict. Zoroastrianism articulated very well in a characteristic way the notion of the end of the world, which was referred to in Avesta as eschaton, and the doctrine about the end, in other words, the eschatology, referred to as the eschatology as per the Zoroastrian doctrine. According to this doctrine, this eschatology, at the end of the cosmic cycle of 12,000 years, the Savior and the Judge, Saoshyant, born miraculously from a maiden and the seed of Zoroaster, will appear and revivify creation, casting devil into hell and purging the human race of the stain of sin. Of course, here there appears to have been some doctoring in terms of the years when this guy is expected to come along. This happens in a number of religious traditions, because obviously the first guy that provided the teaching did not make any recording when he was teaching, and in most cases the oral tradition that was used back then fails to capture accurate information, where there is misinterpretation of the number of years when a predicted figure is supposed to appear, and so forth and so forth, and also where they are born, where they grow up. That is information that is doctored through the ages. So when this information finally gets to us, there's a lot of interfering in it. But what is important to us is that this is something that is expected to happen either now or in the near future. So the text continues to say that then the entire human race will enter paradise, where all will enjoy eternal bliss and happiness, and the material world will become immortal forever and ever. Quote unquote, the significance of Zoroastrianism, writes R.C. Zeiner, lies not in the number of those who profess it, but rather in the influence it has exercised on other religions. For example, all Gnostic religions, for example, including Hermetism, Gnosticism, and Manichaeism, and so forth, and particularly on Christianity, though the medium of the Jewish exiles in Babylon, who seem to have been thoroughly impregnated with Zoroastrian ideas. The text continues, the literature continues to say that Zoroastrianism influenced Judaism most heavily in its eschatology, including the notions of the Messianic era, of national restoration, the coming of the new eon of God's kingdom, and the celestial hereafter for the deceased, as well as in its understanding of sacred history. According to Jewish Heilsgeschichte, Yahweh, who chose the nation of Israel to be his own, will one day fulfill his promise by establishing his rule on earth. Understandably, Christianity, which was born as a messianic movement within the Jewish fold, inherited the Iranian-inspired Jewish eschatological outlook. But when nearly Christians realized that the expected return of Christ would not be realized as soon as they had anticipated, or perhaps already had been partially realized at the Pentecost, they were compelled to come to terms with the social realities of their contemporary situation. Such a scenario is a familiar one in the history of religion, repeated again and again in many religious traditions. So that explains how different um, communities or societies or civilizations doctor doctor ancient scriptures that were passed down from men that were of supreme and enlightenment to suit their own understandings, comfort zones, and preferences depending on the circumstances of that time. I will end that for now. I shall do a follow-up video for this one. Bye bye.